Hello friends, so as you know, we just returned from Paris, France, and one of the things that we wanted to do upon our return was do a Paris haul video. Show you all of the things that we bought on our trip to Paris. So, that's what we're doing.
So one of the things you think about when you think about France is wine. We had a lot on our trip and we brought a lot home.
So these are the 7 bottles of wine that we brought home. We brought back 4 reds, 3 whites. 2 of them we bought after the wine tour we went on and tasting. They were wines that we tasted and really loved. The other 5, we actually found a really cool local wine shop in Paris.
Which they have everywhere.
Which they have everywhere, obviously. And the lady working was super helpful. We told her just what we wanted, and she helped us pick out the other 5. So,
well, 4. And then we asked what her favorite was, and she said this one.
Oh yeah, so she led us to her favorite wine. So these are the wines we brought home from France.
So if you watched our Paris vlogs, you know the next one, you've already seen it, but I'm going to show you again. This I got from Galeries Lafayette, and
this is kind of your big...
This is my big gift. To myself. Look at how cute this is!
Well, from her husband, let's be honest.
OMG. I love it so much. It's super cute. It was not actually 30% off because we're not French.
Apparently that discount is not good for tourists.
Only good for French people.
Oh well.
But that's okay. It's still super cute and I'm very excited to use it.
And actually, not a bad price.
No, it was €79.99 euro.
But we did get 10% discount because we're tourists. So it ended up being like just over $70, which I thought was pretty great for a cute purse and something that you can now use and remember Paris.
Yes.
Also, can we please take a minute and notice Missy right down here? She will do anything she can to be in the vlogs.
Yeah.
She's glad we're home. She's been
following us around.
Super just like clingy ever since we got home. Back to the haul video.
So I also got a couple scarves. I got this one that I'm wearing. And this one that has little hearts on it. I don't know if you can see that in there, but I thought they were super cute and they were cheap. They were only €5 each.
€5 each, yeah.
So.
And scarves, obviously, like we saw them
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. So another fun memento.
Yeah.
So the next couple things we're going to show you are actually from Disneyland Paris. A couple of the things we got, these were awesome. If you're a Disney fan, you know about the buttons. The buttons are free if you go by City Hall, and these say Je célèbre or something like that. And then they wrote first visit. Basically it means I'm celebrating our first visit. So that's just a fun little keepsake thing that was free from Disney. Not much is free from Disney. And then Sherry.
These were not free, but...
So while we were at Disneyland Paris, they're celebrating their 25th anniversary. And these are one of 2, I think, kind of special 25th anniversary Disneyland Paris ears.
Right there on the ear.
That's the cool thing. It says Disneyland Paris 25 on there. Obviously Sherry loves Disney ears, so that's fun to have kind of a collector sort of ear. Love those. And again, if you watch our vlogs, you know that one of the mementos and the keepsakes that we bring home from Disney parks are pins. We think that pins are a great way to remember your trips without taking up a lot of space in your suitcases, without being terribly expensive. So here are the pins that we got this year. We got the Disneyland Paris 25th anniversary pin. I don't know if that's going to focus. And then we got the, they didn't have, so Disneyland Paris is divided into 2 parks. It's Walt Disney Studios and then Disneyland Paris. They didn't have a Walt Disney Studios pin, which was weird. But we got this Ratatouille pin, which was our favorite ride in Disneyland Paris. So we got that. And then we got this pin actually in the Disney store in Paris.
It says, meet me in Paris. It has Mickey and Minnie.
So that's awesome.
I don't know if that's going to show up at all.
Put it up on my face maybe? Huh? Maybe? I don't know.
And it's also attached to a postcard that says, I love Paris. And it has a whole bunch of the different things about Paris. And this.
A Disneyland, or just a Disney store, Paris, reusable shopping bag. So why not?
So another store that I just had to visit while I was there was the flagship store of Sephora. So I got my favorite mascara from there, which is Makeup Forever Smoky Extravagant. I love it. It was super fun to get it at Sephora Paris.
And the store was huge.
It was
like, it's
massive.
like the main Sephora store in the world. So it was huge, and
It was right on the Champs-Élysées, so it was just,
I think it's
great. It's
Champs-Élysées.
really not.
Oh. So another thing that we look for when we travel are just kind of small little trinkets. We have a couple like shadow boxes in our house that we like to put things in that we find. And in a little antique store, we found these little candlesticks. They're like metal. And they're super cool. The lady who owned the store said that they were from like
1880s.
1880s. They would have been for doll furniture. And so they're just cool little, I don't know, they'll just go in our shadow boxes. And
I was kind of liking the candlesticks because of like Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
So
it works.
We'll remember that we got them in France.
Yep.
So actually the last thing we bought in Paris was in the airport. We stopped by Starbucks, obviously, and I got this mug that has just a whole bunch of the famous places in Paris marked on it. How cool is that? And it says Paris inside.
We didn't buy a coffee mug. Obviously, Sherry loves coffee, and so we had no coffee mugs from our trip, and then we saw that in the airport. It had all the iconic sites.
Which we went to. We went to all of these.
Had to buy it.
So I was very excited.
Yep, that's a good buy.
So one of the other stores we went to in Paris was Shakespeare and Company, and I did a vlog about it on my Sherry's Life channel. You can check that out. But here's the books that we got. So one of the books I got is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare, and it has the stamp from Shakespeare and Company in Paris, which is awesome.
Pretty cool.
I also got A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This is probably my favorite Hemingway, and the neighborhood that we stayed in Paris is where he lived when he was in Paris. So
Hemingway obviously tied super closely to Paris. So that was cool to get that there. The one book I picked out actually from Shakespeare and Company is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I've never read it. I've always wanted to read it, and I didn't necessarily have to buy that there, but I wanted to.
But it has the stamp.
It has the stamp.
And the last book I got, I actually did not get at Shakespeare and Company. I actually bought it at the gift shop in the Pantheon, which is where Victor Hugo is interred. It's The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I'm very excited.
Super classic. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the most Parisian thing.
Right.
Yeah. And again, if you watched our Paris vlogs, we talk about one of the things that we like to buy on trips. It sounds like we like to buy a lot of things on trips. We really don't. Our Christmas ornaments. Our Christmas tree, every year when we decorate it, is basically a walk down memory lane because they're not like store-bought ornaments. They're ornaments that we buy when we travel, and they're specific. And so it's really fun decorating our tree. It's like, oh yeah, do you remember when we went to Ireland? Do you remember when we went to like Newport, Rhode Island? And just like random stuff like that. So we bought 3 ornaments this year in Paris. The first one we bought at Notre Dame. This is the, it's called the Rose Window. It's like their huge circular stained glass window. And then on the back, Notre Dame, Paris, or Paris. So that's cool. The next one is the Phantom of the Opera. We got this at the Garnier Opera House. That's the opera house that the Phantom is based on. So how do you not get a Phantom? And plus, we love Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
So how do you not get that? But then we could not find a Paris ornament for the longest time.
It was so hard. All the ornaments we found were kind of these cloth, like embroidered, which are cute, but that's all we could find.
Yeah.
And then at the Pantheon,
in their little gift shop, we found this. I hope it focuses. Go, there we go, kind of. And so it's like just different Parisian things.
But it says Paris on it, which is what we were wanting. And it's like a glass ornament. It's pretty.
It
came in a pretty box.
So we were, as soon as we saw it, we were so excited. We're like, finally. So we got our 3 ornaments.
Yay.
And so the last things we got were kind of our gift to us coming back. We always try to buy one thing or a few things for us. They're kind of like for our house. That are like the things that always stay up in our house to remember trips. These first 2 things
aren't going to stay up in our house.
They were funny. So we decided to buy art for the trip this year. Obviously Paris, huge like artist culture, just a very artsy city. And one of the places in Paris that we just love the most is called Montmartre. It's where Sacré-Cœur is, and there's this huge just like artist scene and market.
Like these artists are just sitting there with like their oils, and they're just like painting as you're watching them, and then they sell the painting and they start a new one. Like It's legit, and these artists are amazing.
Amazing, like gallery quality. It's amazing.
I don't even understand how they're just selling it on the street.
But as you're walking through Montmartre, there are obviously like the salesman artists, you know what I mean, who aren't painting in oils. They're doing like little sketches and things. And one of the things that they have people there that do is they come up to you and they just start like, they have a piece of paper in their hand and scissors.
They just like adjust your face and they're just like, hold still. And they just start like
start cutting the paper and they do the silhouette. And then by the time they're done, like, I always feel bad. Right? Like, I'm like, dang, you just spent...
they know.
They know.
Like...
And so I bought these. I did talk them down 50%,
right,
to be fair.
Right.
These are so dumb. Like, we've been laughing about these forever. These are silhouettes of Sherry and I. So there is me. Does that look like me? Do I... Like that? Is that me?
He looks like an old professor.
Sometimes I feel like an old professor. And there is Sherry. So...
I don't know. And they have them facing each other.
Like that?
Nope, other way.
Other way, like
there
that. So there, does that look like Sherry and I? Guys, I don't know. But I couldn't not pay them for that, so whatever. And then we also bought some watercolors. This guy was doing watercolors there, amazing job. And we ended up buying 5 of them, but they're small. And so we're gonna arrange them kind of in some unique way, figure out how to frame them. But here's what they are. And they're 5 places that we went to and visited in Paris. So we really love that. So here's like kind of a classic Eiffel Tower view.
In the spring, which is when we were there, he had the 4 seasons.
Yep, so
Eiffel Tower.
we wanted these to be springtime when we were there. Here is Sacré-Cœur. Here is Notre Dame, or Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Or Notre Dame. Here is the Arc de Triomphe. And then finally, here is Moulin Rouge.
Which we didn't actually go into.
But we saw it from the outside. We saw that view.
Right?
So we got those 5 watercolors, and we'll figure out how to display those. But then the piece that I love, like you guys, I love this so much. This is my kind of art.
I like the traditional, like.
Yeah, you like those.
These.
He
likes this, so we got this for him.
So this is kind of our big piece. I'm so excited to get this framed. I love this kind of art. Nope. Do you guys see this?
It's all done with ink, he said.
It's so amazing. Like, abstract art is just my favorite. How you can like portray something in an abstract way. So let's hold it up one more time. We're gonna get this framed, and this is gonna look amazing in our house. Here's what I love about Montmartre, is that it's not just like random artists. I mean, it kind of is, but these are like legit artists, like Sherry said. So the guy who did this, Bahman Borenji, born in Iran in 1942, he was the director of the art department and at the university in Tehran. So this guy's been doing art for years and years. But when you Google this guy and you like do like your research, Christie's, like the big fancy schmancy like auction website, like sells his pieces. His pieces are like super famous and super valuable.
He has them in galleries all over the world.
All over the world. New York and Paris and London, and like his gallery list is crazy.
Also, he just sits on the streets in Montmartre and
like does this kind of stuff. And we got to just like sit and talk with him. And like now we have a piece, and he was explaining to us, like, I don't know if you can see this, but like there's the statue of the horse over there, and obviously the Eiffel Tower, and just kind of what everything means in here. That's what I loved about Montmartre, is that these guys aren't just like nobody artists. They are legit artists.
Amazing artists.
And we have an amazing piece that I cannot wait to get framed to show you. Yeah. So thanks so much for watching. Let us know below if you have any questions about any of this stuff. We'd love to answer questions. Let us know, what's your favorite thing that we brought back from Paris?
It's my purse, isn't it?
It's this.
It's this.
Or the wine.
Or this.
Or this. We'll see you guys soon.